So far on this ultra advanced channel, that's also for beginners as well. We have a lot of stuff for beginners. Beginners who want to become ultra advanced fast. I've done 1.5 videos on how to achieve local pickup success. Whenever you sell something on eBay, someone locally picks it up from you, and how to do that. I tell you where to meet them, what to put in your messages, how to ensure they actually show up. All sorts of really neat tricks are in this video. And I did kind of a half video on this sort of thing, talking about Facebook Marketplace recently, that whenever you have items, such as heavy items, just too expensive and heavy to ship, too hard to wrap, you'll still sell them on eBay if they sell and if someone wants to pay the shipping. But some sellers find those sell better and easier if you also offer local pickup. So on eBay, you have shipping options, and one of your shipping options can be local pickup. Someone can contact you and say, I live in your town. Where can we meet if I buy this? And they will buy it online. Now, Facebook Marketplace, they wait until you meet and they give you cash. eBay, though, if someone wants to pick it up locally, they have to pay you just like any other transaction that you're going to ship. Once they pay you, then you work out arrangements to meet, which I showed you in this video, Local Pickup Hacks. I showed you exactly what to do. I don't know why some of these things that I tell you in that video aren't mentioned by anyone else. I don't understand that. There is one danger, however, of not offering local pickup. I also, in the last video, though, talking about Facebook Marketplace and how it meshes so well with eBay, probably Marketplace is the best platform to mesh with eBay and to combine. So not only heavy items, though, I told you in the last video about amazing money you can make on Marketplace if you're an eBay seller. I said a lot of your eBay items might not be hard to ship, but they're just not worth paying shipping. It's a $15 item and your buyer doesn't want to pay $6 or $7 to ship a 3-pound item that just isn't worth the shipping cost. So you offer some of those on Facebook Marketplace as well. And I showed you exactly how to take an eBay listing and put it on Facebook Marketplace the right way. And I showed you which option not to check. And you can often get those smaller, not hard to ship items that just aren't that easy to sell to someone 19 states away from you. They're so much easier just to drive to the local convenience store and meet someone the next time you're running an errand. They don't have to pay shipping, and you get things sold that way faster. But there's one reason that your account can be in trouble if you do not offer local pickup. This is a big warning. I've never heard anyone else ever say this. This is one of those things. Why hasn't anyone ever shown me this? It's because I haven't said it in this group. This group, you learn things like this that you don't find elsewhere. It's not bragging if it's true. I'm telling you 26 years of experience. I'm giving you some warnings that will keep you out of trouble. And if you do not offer local pickup on every single listing that you sell on eBay, your account can actually ultimately just be shut down. It's amazing how this happens. Don't let it happen to you. I'm going to walk you through my perfect selling account and how it got a ding on it because I did not offer a local shipping option. And I have never made that mistake before. Every single listing I sell, no matter how tiny or large it is, no matter how easy or hard it is to ship, I have a local pickup option, and so should you if you value your eBay account. So this video I recorded three years ago or so. It's even more applicable today. Watch this and save your account. Sort of like Scrooge McDuck. You know, if you ever have heard of him, he will go visit his vault of cash and gold and treasures and just kind of lie on the money and throw it up in the air and just enjoy the pleasure of being wealthy. And as with Scrooge McDuck, I will regularly, every week or so, go to my seller level screen and take a look at all of my perfect rating. And then I'll look at my feedback and look at that perfect rating and on, just to bask in the greatness of my accounts. And I was going through my account the other day, looking through here, just enjoying the pleasure of reading what I always see, things like that. And I scrolled down a little bit and this pops into my face. What do you mean I didn't upload tracking on time? Out of the last 158 transactions on this account, it says that I missed one. I don't miss one. That doesn't happen to me. Something's wrong. So I spent an hour or 2 or 3 trying to find out what the problem was. because it's that important to me. I will make mistakes sometimes. I know that will surprise most of you, but when I do, I want it to be a real mistake and I want to pay for it, but I don't want to pay for something I didn't do. And I didn't do this. I always upload tracking. So what my research found is this was a transaction that somebody messaged me and said, we're going to be in Tulsa at a conference this weekend. Can we just meet you and do a local pickup? I said, sure. But this wasn't something that I listed as a local pickup available. I didn't click that option. That option appears for some of you right here, for a lot of you right here, offer local pickup. I just hadn't clicked them. It was a Lego set, quite large. I just didn't really consider local pickup. I mean, what are the chances someone's going to want your treasure and they're going to be in your town? But the way the universe works is once in a while that will happen. That's what happened here. And I remembered even, I mean, it hadn't been that long. I remembered even telling the guy whenever I met him, it all worked out perfectly. He had the cash. We were just happy-pappy. But I said, I may have to send you something. He said, what do you mean? I said, I may have to ship something to you with a tracking number. It'll be very small, like 1 ounce, just as cheap as I can. But I need to show that I shipped this. And he said, no problem. Do whatever you need to do. So I got back and went to where I'm supposed to enter the tracking number for items I shipped outside of the eBay platform. Whenever I do a mailing label outside, say, I started selling pirate ship, but it'll update eBay for you. But I went to that place where you enter a tracking number for a specific item that you sold. I put shipped and I marked it as shipped, and then I put as tracking. I entered, I believe it was a local pickup. And then almost a month later, I see this on my account. And it's because of that, because I did not enter a tracking number for something that doesn't have a tracking number. So of course, I called customer service and I said, got a problem here on my account and I don't like it. Here's the whole thing. I suggested to the representative that she look at our messages between me and the buyer, which she did as we spoke, as they often do. And I said, as you can see, the buyer wrote me first and said, do you mind if we do local pickup? I said, great. And we worked it out and decided when we'd meet. And she agreed this was a local pickup. She did a lot of research and put me on hold a couple of times, went to her tech support people and came back and said, I cannot remove this for you. And she said, I'm sorry, but I can't remove it. For some reason, this isn't something that we can reverse on at all. It's never been set up to be able to do that. It's an automated thing that if you don't enter a tracking, it will ding your account. And then they just never thought there would be a reason to reverse it. She said, no problem. She said, look at your account. It's no problem. One of these is nothing. And compared to what you sell, and I think she mentioned at least one of my other accounts, I'm not sure. But she said, don't worry about it. I said, well, I worry about it. But she said, this isn't going to be a problem unless you just don't enter tracking for a lot of items. And I said, I know. But she said, look, you're not going to have a problem. I can see from your account, you'll never hit a problem with entering tracking. This will never be a reason why your account gets in trouble. But she said, if it ever does, before we reset everything, and I think these don't reset except annually, probably, because it's probably sold about 150 items in this account within the last year. So she said it won't reset for a year, but pretty soon that'll be back to 365 days from now. She said, if your account ever gets in trouble because you have not entered tracking, you did one too many. She said, call customer service. I'm making notes in your account. They will reference this call and they will delay your problem. So let's say that it takes 5% of not entering tracking to get your account in trouble. And by in trouble, there are several things that eBay might do. They might suspend you, but they also might start fining you. And the way they do that is, I think that they fine people 5% a transaction. They charge an extra 5% transaction fee for people whose accounts start having problems like this. That's significant financially over time, especially if you sell a lot of items, which a lot of you are beginning to do or have been doing for a while now. She said, if that ever happens, you call us and we'll give you a free pass on the last one, because this one will show that that's not really what happened. I said, well, I appreciate that. She said, no problem. That'll never have to happen because you obviously aren't going to do that. And I agreed, but I still don't like seeing that. So whenever you create a listing, I suggest you always offer local pickup, because you don't enter tracking. It was locally picked up, and this problem won't happen to you. Oh, then that reminds me, he had to pay for shipping. We agreed to meet, and then he said, it looks as if whenever I pay, it's going to charge me shipping. And I said, I'll refund your shipping right back to you. So protect yourself. Always, from this point forward, click offer local pickup, because you never know when you will. Always offer local pickup, and you won't have the problem of not being able to keep 100% transactions in your account.